Okay, what this is a video response to this gentleman by the name of Zokurtis, or that is the name he goes by, Zokurtis, and he asked me to speak about my language learning secrets. Those are his words, my language learning secrets. Well, first of all, I don't normally do this type of video because my thing is really reading poetry. My niche is really reading poetry, but it would be difficult in only 5 minutes to say very much. But I could say a number of things. This summer I actually read several books entirely in Mandarin Chinese and several books entirely in Arabic. Okay, although they were pedagogically designed books, there's some old linguaphone books, but I did derive great satisfaction from being able to read books entirely in that language, even if they are books that are pedagogically designed for the learner. However, in order to reach that stage where I could do that, reading a book entirely in that language without using a dictionary or even having a glossary or anything of that kind in the book, I would say I had about 4 years under my belt in both languages. So although one may be passionately engaged in learning a language, and I certainly feel that I am passionately engaged with all of my languages, it does take time. You have to give yourself time. Okay, a lot of the things I do for learning languages are things other people have done. I've discovered some of them on my own, but then I find that other people have discovered them as well. So there's really nothing new under the sun in what I'm doing. A number of books I could suggest reading, and I do like reading books about how to learn languages. This one I like quite a bit. The Third Ear is quite a good book. Language learning as adventure, and that's one way of seeing that, language learning as adventure. I also like this book quite a bit by Edward Trimmel, Why You Need a Foreign Language and How to Learn One. But I've read many others. Okay, so that's one thing to do, is just to read a lot of books about learning languages. I do things which are fairly traditional, like making flashcards, but I want to emphasize is that these flashcards can go anywhere with me. I like walking nature trails quite a bit here in southern Texas, and those flashcards always go with me. And after a walk of about an hour, I find out I know at least 20 new words, which is really something. Another thing I practice is triangulation. Triangulation is a term recently presented by this guy who goes by the name of Glossica, or that's the name of his station is Glossica. And that's where you resort to a third language for the learning of a fourth language, so to speak. For instance, I'm learning Nahuatl. I'm reading a grammar of the Nahuatl language written in French, which is excellent. Okay, and there's many ways of doing triangulation. You can simply try to translate a new word in a new language into as many of its corresponding terms and languages you already know as in the memorization process. Okay, and let me see. I have one advantage maybe that other learners may not have, and that is the fact that because I'm a writer and I have contacts that allow my works to be translated into other languages, I use that as a major technique for acquiring reading capabilities. I have my writings translated, and I use that for constant reading practice. Well, I think that's all, and hopefully there was something useful in this presentation. Adios.